Are you freaking kidding me? What are you doing? Welcome to another episode of The Average Joe, where everything is poetry and everything is poetry. Today is sponsored unofficially by the Daily Grind in Front Royal, Virginia, where you can get the best coffee in town right on Main Street, where you can have friendly service and fun people to hang out with. It's always a fun place to go. So I recommend it to you. Welcome to another episode of The Average Joe, where everything is poetry. And this is a cup of coffee. This is a cup of coffee by the Daily Grind in Front Royal, Virginia on Main Street. That is some good coffee. Well, I'm going to tell you a story about a friend of mine, TF. And she's a nurse. And first of all, on March 31st, we're going to be going to see the Sundogs at the State Theater, which is a Rush tribute band. And I've never seen this one particular band, but I've seen the other Rush tribute band, Blame Canada, two times, I think. I think the third time I sort of ditched her and didn't make it to the show. And believe me, I have yet to hear the last of that. But anyways, so March 31st, we're going to go see the Sundogs. It's a Rush tribute band. And she is such a freaking fan of these people. She is such a Rush fan. TF is such a Rush fan that she will stalk them as if they're the real deal. She will. And I know that when we go, I'm going to end up taking pictures of her with the band. And then generally what happens is I'm forced to go sit outside of the green room where the band is, and Tammy's in there. And after I take my pictures with her and the band, then they make me go sit outside, and I have to sit while she's in there for about a half hour. And I don't know what's going on in there. I honestly don't. I couldn't say. But I do sit by myself, have a couple drinks. And then Tammy comes out, and she's kind of like fixing her hair and stuff. And then the band comes out, and they seem to be a little bit more peppier than they were the first set. But I don't, maybe that's just me. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But they are. And Tammy's got a big smile on her face. Oh, TF. I'm sorry. And then, we go and the show's great. The show's great. Now I'd like to do this. My flag man and your flag man sitting by the fire. My flag man said to your flag man, I'm going to set your flag on fire. I don't know why. I just like that. It's a Grateful Dead song. It's not actually a Grateful Dead song. It's a song the Grateful Dead do. And I am a big Deadhead, if you have not noticed. But I am. I'm a big Deadhead. So anyways, my story about TF and I is we both work in an emergency room in Kansas. And people just don't realize what we deal with. They do not understand what we deal with. What is the first question you think that people ask us? People that don't really know us that well, and they meet us, and you're out and you're having drinks, and then your friend goes, "Hey, you work in an ER? What's the grossest thing you've ever seen?" And I know what they want. They want to know about the guy with the half a head and his heart's on the outside and blah, blah, blah. So anyways, so we have this guy that comes in the ER. He's in his 70s. He's like from 70 up to here, so 70 plus. And he is in a considerable amount of pain. I mean a lot of pain. This guy is really like giving birth, okay? And we didn't realize how true that was at the time. So anyway, he's in a lot of pain. We bring him in the room, and he's just like, and he's being a complete D. And, we cut a lot of people some slack. We see a lot of people in a lot of pain, and this guy was in a lot of considerable amount of pain. But anyways, so he comes in and we do everything we're supposed to do. We put IV in fluid, and we do X-rays and we do a CAT scan, and it turns out that this guy he's in pain, but not because of what we thought. Basically, this guy is
constipated. He is severely constipated.
Well, as you imagine, if you were at home and you had this problem, you'd go to the drugstore and you'd pick up a kit and you'd come home and you'd do it yourself, right? Well, this guy came in and he wanted us to do it, and that's what we do. Okay? I need you to understand that. That is what we do. This is part of what we do. We don't look at the guy and go, no, senor. That's kind of a French Mexican accent, by the way. Anyways, we don't tell him no. We say, yeah, sure, okay, hang out. And we go, and the first thing we do is we get the box that you would get, right? The little bottle with the, and we do our thing, and we set him down, and he's now in a little bit more pain and a little bit more uncomfortable, and this is not working. It's not working. Stuff's going in, not coming out. Stuff's going in, but not coming out. So and when I say we, TF and I, decide, along with the doctor, that we need to do something a little bit more drastic. So we get a bag, and it's like a 10-gallon bag of saline, literally. I mean, it's like, is it 10 gallons? I don't know. I don't know. It's not my job. I mean, it is my job. It's my job, but it's not I don't know. I just don't know how much is in there. A lot. And it has just saline and soap. So it's like sudsy saline solution in a fairly big tube. All right, so I don't have to tell you where the tube goes. Okay, we'll put the tube in. All right, and the bag goes like this, and go whoop, and it's all empty, and now the guy's sitting down, and so now we gotta prepare for what's going to happen. We know what's coming, right? At least we hope. That's the intended outcome. Is we know, you know. I don't have to tell you. If I have to tell you, then you shouldn't be watching this. So, anyways, we can't have this guy now get up and run across the ER to the bathroom, because what'll happen is 9 out of 10 times what's supposed to happen will happen before he gets there. We don't want that. So we bring in a bedside commode and we put it next to the bed, hence the name bedside commode. Put it next to the bed. So now we have the bedside commode. We have the patient sitting in the bed. We have me standing here, and we have the nurse, TF, over here. And we proceed to get the guy up and move him from the bed to the bedside commode. Well, in the process of moving him this far, from the bed to the bedside commode, a little bit of action happens. Just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit of action, hits the floor, and we get the guy on the bedside commode. Well, nurse TF decides that while we're waiting for the main event, she's going to do a little tidying up. And I am beside myself, because now TF has gotten herself in between the bed and the bedside commode, and she's now with a towel cleaning up. Okay, so there's the bed, the bedside commode, the guy who's primed, locked and loaded, and we're waiting for Mount St. Helens to erupt, and she decides that this is the time that she's going to go down and clean. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. TF, please, come on, out. So she gets up and she moves, and I think, okay, thank God, nothing happened. She listened to me. And I'm like, TF, don't do that. You're scaring me. She gets another towel, and now she goes behind the guy. Well, now she's like right where the solar eclipse is going to happen. She's right there, and she starts to go down, and she's going down, and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? What are you doing? And because the guy, it may not be a guy, by the way. It could be a woman because, remember, this is an ER in Kansas, so we don't know. Anyway, he's sitting there like this. All right, he's in a lot of pain. So she decides that she's going to go down here behind the guy, behind the lunar eclipse, and no protection. No protection. And she's back there, and she starts cleaning up back here. And I'm watching in horror. I am like, okay, I'll be honest with you. Part of me, for the sake of storytelling, I'm not going to lie, for the sake of storytelling, I wanted this guy to just let loose and explode on her because it would have made for a great story. But it didn't. Didn't happen. TF was happy. I was happy. I'm not as happy as I could have been had things gone the other way, the way I wanted them to go. I really wanted to see that happen. But you know what? I love TF. I work with her every night, and she's my bud. And would it have been a great story? Yeah, it would have. Would have been an excellent story. But no, it didn't go that way. But anyways, I like the way the story went. That's a crazy nurse right there. That is a crazy nurse. She's either crazy or she knows exactly what she's doing. Well, I got exactly 56 seconds before this is going to actually take effect. I don't think that's the case.